Yo, what is up, guys? Joker here bringing you another video for the 3.21 Crucible League. This video is actually going to be going over the Atlas changes as well as the Breach and Abyss rework. My opinions on them, how I feel about it. All right, and starting it off, we have my favorite thing probably so far, and that's gateways. Gateways are going to jump horizontally across the Atlas passive tree, and they're going to go from the Eater of Worlds side to the Searing Exarch side, allowing you to get a much larger variety of Atlas passive trees than we were able to do before. Remember, if you watched since last league, you know last league I said, hey, there's only about 3 or 4 trees that you really want to run to make any kind of profit. This completely throws that out the window because now you're able to mix and match, and each gateway goes ahead and gives you access to pretty much a third of the Atlas passive tree on that side. So think of it like it's cut into 9 quadrants right now, right? That's kind of what we got for a Atlas passive tree, and that is really cool in my opinion just because it gives us so much more variety than what we previously had. Apart from that, the next thing that I want to show you is the fact that Scarabs now hold a value, right? Based on the tier, where before it'd be like, oh yeah, you do whatever one's the most effective for the amount of breaches you're getting back from it. No, this goes, you get a breach, and then you get an additional boss class pan, and then you get more and more benefits as it increases in tier. That works for the Abyss Scarabs and the Breach Scarabs. I don't know if they reworked all Scarabs to work like this and they just didn't list it, or if the other Scarabs kind of did already do that, but whatever. Um, Besides that, it's going to be mainly Atlas changes. A couple of the things on the Atlas that I wanted to go ahead and mention, let me get to Atlas changes, is just like the fact that yes, it swaps around like normal, but where certain div cards pop up, right? For div card farming and stuff like that. So I'm just going to run through these real quick for you. So we have the Doctor can now be found in the Putrid cluster. Sulfur, Wastepool, and Phantasmagoria maps. That's the Headhunter card. Make sure I throw up a picture. The Sephiroth is the card. I think it's like 13 cards for 11 divines or 7 divines for 11 cards. It's once again, there's a picture. The Wedding Gift can now be found in Overgrown Ruin or Kali's Fang. I'm holding up my hand like I'm going to put it there in the webcam, but ignore that. And then they're changing the Maven nodes for the Maven invitation quantity. That instead of 3% increased quantity, it is now a 8% increased chance for a Maven invitation to drop. So a lot of Maven invitations do hold decent value, right? They hold anywhere from like 10 to 30 to sometimes 100 plus C. So this, in my opinion, could be worth taking, especially if City Square is still in the map pool. I haven't looked to see if it is, but stuff like that where there's duplicate map bosses, I believe it would go ahead. No, actually, since it says final, I think it's only going to proc off the last one. So it wouldn't give each guy their own role. Never mind, ignore that part. And then they did go ahead and they murdered the Sextant, Infinite Sextant. So, in case you didn't know, there was a harvest craft that gave you chance not to consume sextant. You would use this for wing scarab farming, and you would put harvest on it, and you would infinitely sustain and be able to farm hundreds of divines in a couple of days with this strategy. You just had to initially buy the sextant. But now they got rid of that. They made it a 50% chance. So all methods that used that harvest craft are now dead effectively. Or if you made enough profit from them, then still somewhat viable. It would still double your stuff from like Conqueror maps and stuff like that, right? You'd still get a 50% more benefit from that. than you would without running this craft. Next thing is going to be Kirak's little list of mods here and my opinion on them. That's going to be pretty decent, right? They went ahead, they made sure to throw Abyss on here. That way we could test it with the new Abyss nodes. Breach isn't on here, but once again, they wanted to make Breach much more scarce this league for some reason. We got Essence, which is really good. You will never lose currency running this. It's almost physically impossible, especially early league. You cannot lose currency having 3 additional essence, because if you spec into the additional essence, that's base 4 essence on every map. So at a very least, you're getting your 3C from those 4 essences at a very bare minimum. So there's no way you can use it. Very, very good node. Ambush, I stand strong boxes 120% because I dropped a mirror from one last league. So strong boxes are king. Metamorph, I mean, I don't think anyone really cares about that, but okay. And then we got Expedition and a Heist. I mean, Heist might be worth it since they can't infinite Heist anymore. So people who want Heist will have to buy the contracts. And then Expedition, I have a love-hate with Expedition. I hate it, but I love the currency you make from it. Apart from that, this pretty much just sets the value of the Harvest Sextant, that at a bare minimum, the Harvest Sextant is going to be worth 50C at a bare minimum, because that's what it would be worth if you bought it just on the Atlas through Carrick's mod. But that's pretty much that. Sorry, I went off on a little bit of a rant there and I kind of forgot what part of the video was about, but that was covering all of the Atlas changes that I feel were important and the Kirak mods. Now we're jumping into the reworks, right? So the first rework was Breach. TLDR, what they did is they nerfed all the drops from Breach. They're going to be a lot rarer, and the fights themselves are going to be a lot harder. They moved they deleted 3 tiers of breach stones and they left 3. So now there's normal, pure, and flawless, I believe, or something like that. And it's now like tiers 75. Look, it says right here, tier 81. Yeah. Yeah. 81, 82, and 83. So it's going ahead and it's raising the difficulty quite a lot. So that's why I was saying overall nerf. Is there any benefit? No, not really. They made everything rarer. They did make the unique stronger, like the Hand of Wisdom and Action. I'll throw up a picture. The Hand of Thought and Motion. Once again, I'll show you. And then Toolfall and Toolborn seem kind of interesting. The Choir of the Storm seems interesting. But apart from that, Breach seems like it got nerfed, and I'm kind of sad about that, because if you look at league starters right now, they all want uniques from Breach, right? They want Skin of the Lord and Skin of the Loyal. Those are now going to be insanely overpriced, so you're not going to want to really have a league starter that relies on that as a power spike, because not only did the drop chance get nerfed, the amount of breach stones we're getting is nerfed. The power you're going to have to clear it is nerfed. So it's much more of a gamble that you'll actually get a beneficial one compared to one that would brick your build or not be worth the price, right? So they wanted to kill Skin of the Lord, Skin of the Loyal Rushes. That's pretty much Breach. I'm sorry, that was pretty negative, but I don't think they did Breach any favors. All right, and now we moved to the one I actually am much more excited about. So, the Abyss rework, right? They went ahead and they reworked a lot of things. TLDR, the most impressive things about this, besides all of the uniques getting like this really cool synergy that the more you use the Abyss items, the more powerful your character will become. And it just compensates stats for each other so well. Like my Ice Shot character, I'm literally going to be decking it out and full Abyss gear because with these new items, I got ailment immunity. I got I so the character is going to have plenty of life. It's going to be so good. But yeah, that's kind of why I'm hyped. If you don't know, TLDR, all of these got buffed a decent bit. Every unique that you get from Abyss got buffed a decent bit, and they made it so you have more chances to pretty much profit because now every abyssal depth is going to be a lich, so it's no longer going to be a random chance, as well as if it doesn't lead to a depth, there's a chance that it's going to lead to a spire on the surface, and that's still going to be dropping us our things like the stupidly expensive eye, Amanomu's gaze, I believe, drops from towers. Stygian vices drop from the towers. Darkness enthralled drops from the towers. So there's just so many good things that do drop that I'm really excited for Abyss. That's why it's part of my early rush strategy, because with the buffed Darkness Enthroned alone, 6 mod abyssal jewels are going to be nutty. They are going to be insane, especially if they have 3 or 4 matching or good relevant stats. That's, oh my god. I was pathing it in POB earlier, and I was playing around with just like a 90% one, and I was able to get like ailment immunity, like 80 life per jewel. Oh, it's so good, dude. Um, but that's pretty much it. That's wrapping up this video. I just wanted to go over those changes and my thoughts. Honestly, if you're leaning towards one or the other, I'd say go more Abyss than Breach. Breach seems like it's not it. Obviously, I am going to test it, and I will eat my words if it turns out to be really good. But from what I'm seeing, Abyss is it, and and Breach is not. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go ahead and throw up this short, I think it's like a 12-minute video, um, going over my opinion of the Atlas changes, letting you know of some important ones, and stuff like that. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future content. I'm going to be making hopefully a lot more videos up until league start, trying to hit 1K by the end of this league. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Until next time, take care.